Here I'm going to draw a rough schematic of the different categories of people who donated different amounts. So a fourth of the people donated less than $20 or less. So it's important to kind of draw this out so you can visualize as you're reading the question. 2/3 donated greater than 20 but less than 1,000. And the remaining, we can figure out the fraction. We can just add 1/4 plus 2/3. This will be 11/12, which means the remaining are 1/12, and those would be people who donated 1,000 or more. They also tell us that the average amount donated in this category was 180 is the average. Question is, what was the average amount donated by the people who donated 1,000 or more? Okay, so we'll start with statement 1. The average amount donated by the people who donated less than 1,000 was 132. So that's for this category. We know the average for that category. This is what we need to figure out. There's no way we can figure this out. All we know is that's 1/12 of the people, but we can't get to that average amount. There's no information about the total amount donated, etc. So 1 alone is insufficient. 2 says the average amount donated by the people who donated more than $20 was $360. So that's referring to this category, the average amount donated. So if I take the average amount donated by people in this middle category and I multiply by the number of people, and I'm calling, let's say, the total number of people who donated money was N, then if I multiply by 2/3 N, that's the number of people who donated in this category. That would be the dollar value of donations for this category. I can do the same thing. This would be 1/12 N times whatever the average is. Let's call that X. So if I add those two, this is the total dollars donated by this group. And I know their average amount, the total amount. And that means that the amount they donated would be 360 times 2/3 plus 1/12. And again, this is N. And you'll notice the N drops out. It's everywhere. And you'll see that we can find what X is. You don't have to compute it. I mean, if you had to, let me just see how quickly I can do one. Sometimes, if it does help to compute if you get some strange number. Usually there will be nice numbers. 4 times 2, 8/12 plus 1/12. Let me just make sure I'm not making mistakes. So 3/4 of 360. Clearly for data sufficiency, you don't have to do this. 270, so 150. So X would be 150 times 12, or this is going to be 1,800. So that's the average donated. And it makes sense. I mean, because if I had a number, let's say 600, then I would know I made some mistakes in computation, or maybe my interpretation of the statement is incorrect. Sometimes that helps. So I usually will do this work if I'm feeling a little uncertain, and of course, if I have time, extra time as well. So 2 alone is sufficient. The answer is B.